This morning, students and families in Mount Horeb are still processing after an armed student appeared outside of the middle school and was shot and killed by officers. We have the latest in the investigation. Plus, a live look at Library Mall at UW-Madison this morning, where an encampment is back up as students protest the Israel-Hamas war. We'll hear from Shane Hogan live at the scene this morning.
And we are tracking some rain, some widespread rain expected to move in later this morning. We'll have more on the first warning alert day coming up.
Good Thursday morning. Welcome to News 3 Now this morning. It is May 2nd. We thank you for joining us. I'm Josh Breiter. Chris Stanford has the morning off. We know this has been a really tough week of news. We're going to have some light moments ahead as well. We do want to start with the forecast, though, because there is an alert day. Kelly Slifka is tracking your first warn weather and the possibility for some strong storms later, Kelly.
Yeah, we do have a first warn alert day because of the potential of seeing some stronger storms, maybe producing some hail and strong winds. Now, this is not going to be widespread, but a couple of these storms could produce some of that strong potential for some strong winds and hail later this afternoon, right through tonight. And this will be affecting all of southern Wisconsin. We are seeing some lighter rains now spreading into the Wisconsin River Valley, off to the west of Madison. See, these are lifting to the north. Lone Rock seeing some light rain. Occasionally you see some of these yellows that would indicate some moderate rain moving toward Richland Center this morning. Also near Arena, Prairie du Sac, expecting some of these showers fairly soon as well. Right now, Madison quiet. A couple of light sprinkles there headed toward Fitchburg and maybe toward McFarland as well. As we look at our high-resolution radar, we have some of these lighter showers moving through now, but watch as we go into later this morning, 9 o'clock. Some of these stronger showers with more intense rains moving through Iowa right now. We'll be spreading across the Mississippi River as we get toward 9, 10 o'clock. Right now it's 56 in Madison, 57 in Middleton, 55 in Cottage Grove, and the above average temperatures will continue into early next week. In fact, we could be well in the 70s. Right now we're sitting at 56, a little bit of sun coming up on the horizon. We do have an east wind at 7. Looking at that rain to spread in later this morning. We'll track that severe weather potential later today as well coming up.
Kelly, thank you. Remember, you can keep up with the alert day conditions by downloading the First Warn weather app. It is free right now in the Google Play or App Store. Students in Mount Horeb School District are staying home this morning. Classes are canceled after the scenes you see right here from Wednesday when law enforcement shot and killed an armed student outside of the middle school. The situation led to a lockdown and a heavy police presence at the schools. The Wisconsin Department of Justice says the armed student did not manage to enter the buildings. No one else was injured. Around 2 hours after the initial emergency alert, the district informed parents their kids were safe, but it took several more hours for them to be reunited with their loved ones.
She was able to call me just that one time. She couldn't even hear me for whatever reason. I could only hear her, and she just said, "Mom, I love you. I'm okay. I can't talk." And I just was able to reconnect with her. She said that her phone was left in her backpack. I've been trying to get a hold of her, but all the students' belongings are still at the school.
Students were eventually released in phases and taken to one of several reunification sites. Meanwhile, Wisconsin Attorney General Josh Kaul said in a news conference the officers were wearing body cameras. This morning, parents and guardians have a lot of questions about what happened. Kaul says your children likely do too, and now is a good time to talk to them.
We encourage parents and caregivers to provide reassurance that this event is now over and that children are in a safe place. It's helpful for parents, family, and teachers to help their children verbalize their feelings so they don't feel alone with their emotions.
We do have reaction this morning from across the state. Governor Evers releasing a statement reading in part, quote, "Every day our kids, educators, and staff go to school and hope a day like this never comes. Having visited the district 2 months ago today, my heart breaks for the school, the district, and the entire Mount Horeb community." State Representative Mike Baer, whose assembly district encompasses Mount Horeb, has also released a statement to us saying in part, quote, "Mount Horeb is a wonderful and loving community. I'm proud to represent them. It is one of Wisconsin's very best and most beautiful, peaceful places to live. Unfortunately, that sense of peace was shattered today." He goes on to say, "I'm grateful to our first responders for their response, and I've offered local leaders my full support and assistance." As mentioned, classes in the district are canceled today, though buildings will remain open for students and staff to access counseling and other resources. A decision on tomorrow's classes will be made at a later time. We have been keeping you up to date on any new developments through our Channel 3000 mobile app. You saw that first on your phone yesterday before we went on the air at noon. You can download it to your mobile device to stay informed as this investigation continues. To our other big story at 6:04 this morning, students at UW-Madison are waking up to another encampment at Library Mall. It is part of an ongoing effort by students to compel the university to divest from companies that support Israel in the wake of the war in Gaza. This new encampment comes after law enforcement took down the first one yesterday. We covered it all for you live right here on News 3 Now, and our Shane Hogan is on the scene once again this morning. Shane, I know we're coming up on that 24-hour mark when things really changed for you and lead photographer Mark Schilling yesterday.
Hey, Josh. Yeah, that's right. Things really picked up at about 7 o'clock yesterday morning. Right at the end of the show yesterday is when we first saw an increased presence from law enforcement as they were playing the message over the speakers, giving protesters that 15-minute warning that they needed to leave and take their tents and remove them from campus. Now, it is important to note that police have said they're perfectly fine with protesting and with students and community members expressing their First Amendment rights. We heard that from UW-PD yesterday, that they were totally okay with protesting in that sense. It's the encampment and the tents that have caused the issues. You're seeing some video from yesterday. Things did pick up in intensity quite a bit yesterday morning as police moved in to remove those tents from Library Mall. We are standing by to see if something similar will happen here today or throughout the week or going into the weekend. Now, what I can tell you is over 30 people were arrested yesterday. Most of those people were released without any citations. 4 were booked into Dane County Jail. A couple police officers were hurt in the process yesterday. There was so much going on. Frankly, it was a bit chaotic at certain points, but right now, things back and calm and peaceful here on Library Mall. We'll stand by in case that were to change. Josh?
Shane Hogan live at the university this morning. Shane, thank you. Protesters are continuing their efforts to push the university to divest from companies that support Israel in the wake of its war in Gaza. It is important to note camping out on the Library Mall is against university policy and state law. It led to this scene on Wednesday morning around 8 o'clock. You saw this happen live right here as we broke into programming on News 3 Now. Police moving in with crowd control gear, and that's when protesters pushed back. It was part of their effort to band together.
We're just expecting to keep protecting each other in the way that we did this morning, and we're really relying on community support to help us out with that. Seeing this presence here is definitely really encouraging.
We understand the students are hoping to meet with Chancellor Mnuchin today to discuss their demands. Mnuchin and other university officials expressed willingness to meet with organizers once the encampment was no longer up. That was before they were taken down and, of course, back up this morning. Meanwhile, pro-Israel counter-protesters also appeared Wednesday night for about an hour. They say they came to show solidarity with their fellow Jewish students.
I can't speak on the intentions of every single other person that came out here, but in an ideal world, I would love to be able to sit down and have a conversation with anyone on that side, because I think the reason why violence springs is because we're not able to speak about our differences.
In our next half hour, we'll have more on the latest numbers from UW-PD on how many arrests were made. New reaction this morning to those events. UW's chapter of Students for Justice in Palestine, the group organizing this protest, has a statement reading in part, quote, "The chancellor not only has the ability to make this encampment legal, she has the power to take action on our demands. Instead, she has chosen to do the opposite and enabled violence against her own students, faculty, and community members. We as students are resolute in our solidarity with Gaza." Wisconsin's top Republican Assembly Speaker Robin Vos also reacting in a post to X. He wrote, quote, "Marching, speaking out, and protesting are American values, but blocking free movement or occupation of lands and buildings is illegal and shouldn't be tolerated." More news at 6:08 now. Former President Trump is praising police officers' efforts to quell violent pro-Palestine protests. He made the remarks at a rally in Waukesha on Wednesday. Trump focused on the events at Columbia University on Tuesday night when police climbed the ladder of a tactical vehicle to enter through a window of an administration building occupied by protesters. He called it, quote, "a beautiful thing to watch."
You saw them go up in ladders to break in the windows and getting in, and that's dangerous because you don't know what's on the other side of that window. And they went in, they knocked it out, and they were incredible. They did a great job. New York's finest.
NYPD officers will remain on campus at Columbia University until after this month's graduation events. Secretary of State Antony Blinken is wrapping up his 7th visit to Israel since Hamas attacked the country. He is meeting with leaders to push for a ceasefire and hostage release deal. Hamas leaders are said to be reviewing a draft proposal. Blinken is also encouraging Israel to limit the scale of its military operation in Rafah, where more than half of Gaza's 2.3 million residents are sheltering. Despite the international pressure, Prime Minister Netanyahu says the Rafah operation would move forward soon. It is 10 after 6, still ahead for us on a Thursday morning. We are keeping an eye on alert day forecast for today. Kelly?
We are tracking some lighter rain spreading across western areas of the state, but there's a lot more where that came from. We'll have the first morning forecast coming up.
Also ahead, the Badger men's basketball team now knows its conference schedule for next season.
You're watching News 3 Now this morning, brought to you by Toyota.
Summer is here, and with a new Toyota, you can do all your favorite beach activities, like spike ball, whitewater rafting, shrimp boils, wade fishing, or hanging with the locals. You can say that again.
Get 2.99% APR for 60 months on a new 2024 Camry. See your local Toyota dealer or visit Toyota.com to learn more.
Your summer starts here.
Toyota, let's go places.
Spas. The Swim Spa Hot Tub and Sauna Show is this weekend only in the arena at the Alliant Energy Center in Madison. Millions of inventory must be sold. Prices are slashed up to 60% off retail, so save thousands. Save big on new hot tubs, spas, and saunas. Plus, see the Michael Phelps Signature Swim Spas by Master Spas.
Hi, I'm Michael Phelps. Join the swimming revolution.
The Swim Spa Hot Tub and Sauna Show this weekend only in the arena at the Alliant Energy Center in Madison. Visit 800spasale.com.
Why choose between that new deck you've been wanting and that vacation you've been dreaming about? Get both. A deck that outlasts wood 3 to 1 and up to a 7-day vacation on one of the top cruise lines or at one of our hundreds of resorts with no blackout date restrictions. Call now or visit the website for your new deck today.
To everyone who enjoys a feel-good meal, we're crafting one for you, Wisconsin style.
We're talking handcrafted, cooked to order,
scoop to perfection goodness.
More like greatness.
A snuggle up in the booth, share a bite kind of meal.
A fill you up, heart and soul kind of meal.
Come treat someone you love to a meal they're sure to love.
One always served with a smile.
That comes from the heart.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious! It's our Spring Envy flooring sale, plus special financing to make your projects a reality. Our talented interior designers at H&R Carpets and Flooring take you through each step. On sale now at H&R Carpets and Flooring, Wanakee.
They are some of the hottest videos on social media. Those videos claiming to instantly get rid of bags under your eyes. Annette Figueroa is here to tell us why she says this one is for real.
This one is for real. And what it does is it tightens and lifts the appearance of bags underneath your eyes. And not only does it work on the bags, it works on the appearance of crow's feet, fine lines, and wrinkles.
Try it this Mother's Day for only $14.95. Plus, get free shipping. Visit Plexidermtrial.com or call the number on your screen.
Our city has a pulse. Steps from bustling and wild. Come find familiar. Experience new. Live in our rhythm and stay.
Watching News 3 Now this morning, moving forward.
Welcome back, 6:13. Dozens of former Google employees are trying to get their jobs back this morning. They filed a complaint with the National Labor Relations Board saying they were wrongly fired or put on administrative leave. These workers say they were peacefully protesting Google's contract with Israel's government. Google officials refute that claim. They say last month's demonstration made the other employees feel, quote, threatened and unsafe. The fired workers are seeking reinstatement with back pay. Job openings have fallen to the lowest level in 3 years. New data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics shows U.S. employers had about 8.5 million available jobs in March. That is less than economists expected. Right now, there are 1.3 jobs for every job seeker. That compares to during the pandemic recovery when that ratio was around 2 to 1. Meanwhile, the percent of people quitting their jobs is at the lowest level since August 2020. Happening today and tomorrow, there's a fundraiser to support 2 nonprofit animal rescues in the 608. One being the Midwest Horse Welfare Foundation located in Pittsville. The other is the Little Orphans Animal Rescue of Montello. Organizers say this fundraiser will help each organization raise food and/or monetary donations for huge vet bills. You can see that fundraiser begins at 7 o'clock this morning. They are camped out right now at Fleet Farm in DeForest. Now to your certified most accurate forecast. Meteorologist Kelly Slifka is here with your first warn weather, and you're tracking an alert day.
Yeah, we do have an alert day. Right now, I'm actually got a few sprinkles here on the patio. Not enough really to warrant the umbrella, but may need that later this morning as one band of rain moves through. And look at all this rain out ahead of this storm system. Now, you got that warm front down in the south. The question is that warm front going to nudge into southern Wisconsin? If it does, that would bring us a little bit better potential of seeing some stronger storms developing later on today. Either way, it's going to be a wet Thursday. It's not going to rain the entire day, but we are going to have some wet periods going throughout today. So just be aware of that, and also later this afternoon for the potential of seeing some stronger storms developing as well. And that's why we do have the first warn alert day. Just keep an eye to the sky. Make sure you are weather aware, potential of some hail and some strong winds. This really won't be until later this afternoon into this evening. Can't rule out an isolated tornado. That is a very slim chance. That'll be later today. In fact, we're under a marginal risk of severe weather. That's the lowest on a scale of 1 to 5, but it does include all of southern Wisconsin. Right now, we are tracking some rain, more intense rain, more widespread rain over Iowa, Minnesota. Some of that has been spreading into southwestern Wisconsin. Pretty steady rains there in Richland Center over toward Lone Rock. That's headed on to the north and east. And as mentioned, that little green dot must be right over my head right now this morning. We do have that light sprinkle here in southwest side of Madison. All right, our future track, some of these light showers this morning, moderate showers eventually move in as we get through the mid to late morning hours. Here you can see between 9, 10 o'clock, some moderate rain. Some of this might become moderate to heavy at times for the noon hour. Then it weakens as it moves on to the east of Madison after 1 o'clock, hitting Juneau, Watertown, down toward Janesville. Then quite a bit of a break, I think, most of the rest of the afternoon until later in the afternoon when we can expect more intense storms firing up later this afternoon, this evening. Everything should start to wind down after midnight as it moves on to the east. So we will have the chances of rain throughout the day, but the best chances come later this morning, get a little bit of a break, mid-morning hours, then again late this afternoon, evening, up until about midnight before that chance of rain starts to diminish. Also, we're talking about some pretty good rainfall totals, anywhere between a half to as much as 1.5 inches, just depending on where some of this heavier rain decides to set up shop. 56 in Madison, 57 in Janesville, 56 right now in Lone Rock. First warn forecast, the first warn alert day, because of the potential for some stronger storms later today. We clear out tonight and tomorrow. Beautiful day tomorrow. May see a shower Saturday. I think most of the weekend dry. Temperatures near 70. Another chance of storms Tuesday of next week.
You could say the Brewers have a certain swagger to them, as they should. First month under Pat Murphy, the Crew have 18 wins and sit first place in the division. And speaking of Pat Murphy, he gets a little heated from time to time, and the Crew have taken on the personality of their skip. Murphy has been suspended 2 games following Tuesday night's ejection. Freddie Peralta 5 and Abner Uribe 6 games. Ricky Weeks serving as the manager for the Crew in the time being in their season finale against the Rays. And you could say Willie Adames loves playing against his former team. Already up 2-0, Big Willie sends a solo shot to center to make it 3-0. But he wasn't done yet. 7th inning now, Adames up again, and again he hits a bomb. This time it's a 3-run jack as the Brewers take the series with a 7-1 win. Wisconsin men's basketball found out their Big Ten opponents for the upcoming season, and it's pretty standard. They'll have home and aways with Iowa, Minnesota, and Illinois and play everyone else once. But remember, a couple of the teams in the league are brand new. The Badgers will head to UCLA for the first time since 1972 and make their first trip to USC since 1982. UW will also welcome in Oregon to Madison for the first time since 1988 and host Washington for the first time since 1958. To the links, Cameron Huss is qualified for the NCAA Men's Golf Championships for the third time in his career. The Badger senior will head to West Lafayette for regionals next week. And even though the All-Big Ten first-teamer has been through the anticipation of the selection show before, it's still pretty cool to know for sure you're headed to the regional tournament.
It's kind of been the same as, I mean, the last 2 years, it was a lot more fun just because it was like, oh, we're in. Versus this year is like, just kind of knew it was coming, but I mean, it's always fun to see your name up there.
Let's kick it. Oregon hosting Madison West in a battle of two of the best teams in the state. And the Panthers didn't wait long to get the party started. Caitlin Studebaker goes corner pocket with the right foot to put the home team up 1-0 3 minutes into the game. Then 15 minutes later, more Panthers. Maya Maloney sends one into Reese Richardson, who puts it top shelf where Mama keeps those cookies. The freshman to freshman makes it a 2-goal game, and Oregon goes on to win 3-1 is your final. And that's it for morning sports. Have a great day.
Still ahead for us at 6:20 this morning, another check of your first warn forecast on this alert day. Kelly's got the bus stop forecast. And in our next half hour, the latest on the school shooting investigation in Mount Horeb, how the community is reacting.
Susan Simon, News 3 Now at 4 and 5, weekdays moving forward.
When you need inspiration, it's worth shopping Pick and Save, where you'll find over 30,000 mouth-watering choices with savings beyond low prices. Savings like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. More savings and more inspiring flavors make Pick and Save worth it every time.
It's your thing. Do what you want to do.
Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
It's Ford SUV season. Time to get out there and take on adventure in a whole new way. Start with great offers on Ford Bronco and Bronco Sport, all equipped with 4x4 capability and with the help of GOAT modes to go over any type of terrain. It's Ford SUV season. Let's get going. Lease a Bronco Sport for just $299 a month for 36 months. See your Wisconsin Ford dealer.
You made a cow.
Actually, it's a piggy bank. My inspiration to start saving.
How about a more solid way to save?
I'm listening.
Well, BMO helps get your savings habit into shape with a cash reward every month you save.
Cash reward?
And there's a cash bonus when you open a new checking account to get you started.
Wow. Anything you can't do?
Mugs.
Get an 11% rebate on your outdoor project. Midwest Master is a premium all-purpose grass seed mix that starts growing fast and blends well into existing lawns. A 15-pound bag covers up to 3,750 square feet and is $39.99 after rebate. Keep your lawn growing strong with Rainbird sprinklers. This gear-drive sprinkler sprays up to 38 feet, just $9.78 after 11% rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
I have moderate to severe Crohn's disease. Now there's Skyrizi.
Things are looking up. I've got symptom relief. Control of my Crohn's means everything to me. Control is everything to me.
Feel significant symptom relief at 4 weeks with Skyrizi, including less abdominal pain and fewer bowel movements. Skyrizi is the first IL-23 inhibitor that can deliver remission and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. And the majority of people experienced long-lasting remission at 1 year.
Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, had a vaccine, or plan to. Liver problems may occur in Crohn's disease.
Now's the time to ask your gastroenterologist how you can take control of your Crohn's with Skyrizi. Learn how AbbVie could help you save.
Welcome back, 624 on a Thursday morning. Boy, Gwen's got a little bit of everything in this photo, some color and horses.
I love that tree. You know, you were just mentioning it seemed like everything just greened up and bloomed out overnight. And yeah, that horse will have plenty of grass to eat with all the rain that we've had and the warm temperatures.
Along with that and my allergies, too. As you can,
that is true.
Hear.
That's one of the consequences you have to face this time of the year.
Well, if you don't have enough Skittles in your life, here's your chance to change that. Skittles has transformed a micro apartment in New York City. The apartment is called the Skittles Little Living Apartment. It is 353 colorful square feet in size. Skittles will pay your rent to live here for a full year. In order to get your chance to win, just visit Skittles' website. A little color there,
Yeah,
Kelly.
A lot of color. You know what I like is the free rent.
Big time.
How many? It was like 350?
350 some square feet. That's so New York.
Yeah, well,
and it's still probably $3,000 a month in rent.
Yeah.
If you had to pay for it.
If you had to pay for it, yeah. Look at those little polka dots on the tiles or on the
A little
bathroom.
creative. Something for everyone out there in this world, isn't there?
Yeah, I know. I wonder if you'd ever get tired of all the color, or you'd be like, man, maybe we should tone it down a little bit, but...
You'd really have to like it, I think.
Yeah.
All right, so you're keeping an eye on First Warn weather today, alert day. How's the bus stop looking?
Yeah, you know, you're gonna, we've got some sprinkles moving through Madison right now. Not anything real heavy right now, but I think later this morning, as we get toward the noon hour, make sure the kids have that rain gear because it's gonna get pretty sloppy and a pretty solid area of rain expected later this morning into the early afternoon. Then we'll get a bit of a break, and then later today we are expecting more rain to move in as temperatures will recover into the 60s. Do you have the First Warn alert day for the potential of some isolated stronger storms that will be developing this afternoon into tonight? Could produce some hail, could produce some strong winds. Can't even rule out an isolated tornado. We do clear out tomorrow. Should be a really nice Friday. And I would say the best day of the weekend is going to be Sunday. We do have a few showers possible on Saturday, especially later in the afternoon into the evening. Otherwise, mild into next week, but it could be stormy once again with more storms expected by Tuesday of next week.
All right, Kelly, thank you. Stay with us. Continuing coverage here on News 3 Now this morning. Several developing stories next.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Spas. The Swim Spa Hot Tub and Sauna Show is coming this weekend only at the arena at the Alliant Energy Center in Madison. Rows and rows of spas, hot tubs, and swim spas. The largest display in the state. Save up to 60% on all in-stock models. This weekend only at the arena at the Alliant Energy Center in Madison.
Shop from the largest selection of Chevy trucks and SUVs in Wisconsin at Bergstrom Chevrolet. All with Bergstrom's negotiation-free upfront pricing, including our exclusive 7-day price protection and money-back guarantees. Stop in or shop and purchase at BergstromChevrolet.com.
Looking for fitness that fits your budget? Join Planet Fitness. Now through May 10th, you can save big when you join for $1 down and just $10 a month. Cancel anytime. That's almost 25% off your monthly membership. Get big fitness energy without the big investment. Never intimidating, always free fitness training. Equipment for every workout. Don't miss out. Join the judgment-free zone today and get energized for $1 down and $10 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends Friday, May 10th.
After you've been in a serious motorcycle crash, there's a lot you may need. Medical attention, help with your bike, and someone who could get you the justice and money you deserve. Unfortunately, you won't get that by calling the insurance company. They'll try to use the law to their advantage. Call Gruber Law Offices first. We've been representing injured bikers for over 35 years. We get results. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
My late father-in-law lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had AMD. I didn't know it then, but it can progress to GA, an advanced form of the disease. His struggle with vision loss from AMD made me want to help you see warning signs of GA, like hazy or blurred vision, so it's hard to see fine details. Colors that appear dull or washed out. Or trouble with low light. That makes driving at night a real challenge. If you think you have GA, don't wait. Treatments are available. Ask a retina specialist about FDA-approved treatments for GA and go to GAWon'tWait.com.
Check this out, the newest fantasy game from DraftKings. Just pick between 2 and 6 players and choose if they're gonna have more or less of a stat. Then compete against others for cash prizes. It's that simple. Okay, let's try it. Do you want more Kevin Hart or less Kevin Hart now? No, don't answer that.
Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app today and score $50 in Pick 6 credits instantly when you play a $5 first pick set. The crown is yours.
What?
Spas. The Swim Spa Hot Tub and Sauna Show is coming this weekend only at the arena at the Alliant Energy Center in Madison. Rows and rows of spas, hot tubs, and swim spas. The largest display in the state. Save up to 60% on all in-stock models. This weekend only at the arena at the Alliant Energy Center in Madison.
This morning, we are live from Library Mall for day 4 of the encampment here on UW's campus. What to expect today.
Plus, emotional reaction from parents after a student brought a gun to school in Mount Horeb, where students in that district are spending their time moving forward.
And we are tracking some showers moving across southern areas of the state. Some thunderstorms off to the west. We do have a first warn alert day. We'll have more coming up.
Good Thursday morning. Welcome to News 3 Now this morning on this May 2nd. I'm Josh Breiter. Chris Stanford has the morning off. We have a lot to get to in this half hour. You can see the radar behind me. It is an active morning with an alert day in the forecast for your Thursday. Let's get right to meteorologist Kelly Slifka with your certified most accurate forecast. What are you tracking, Kelly?
You know, we've got light to occasionally some moderate rain off to the west. Mainly you see these greens, the lighter greens, that would be just some light rain. Occasionally you get some of these yellows showing up. So potentially some moderate rain there in parts of Richland County. A lot of lightning showing up across Iowa. So that's what we got to look forward to. Quite a bit of rain expected today and also some stronger storms, especially as we get into the afternoon hours. But a couple of moderate showers from Richland Center, moving toward Lone Rock, right along the Wisconsin River Valley there. And off to the west, we're seeing some showers, lighter showers there toward Boscobel. Did have that sprinkle that affected me at the main weather last half hour, but that's moving up on the north side of Madison right now. Everything lifting to the north. It's actually moving fairly quickly as well. Watching our future track radar this morning, mainly dry in the Madison area until we get later this morning. But you can see this band of rain, the more moderate rain coming out of Iowa, reaching western areas over there toward Crawford County, Grant County. That should be moving in 9-10 o'clock. Eventually, that's going to be headed toward Madison toward 11 o'clock in the noon hour. Got our first warning alert day because of the potential of some strong storms, potentially producing some hail. Strong winds. Can't rule out an isolated tornado, especially as you get a little bit closer toward the Illinois border. That'll be mainly later this afternoon into the evening. We're sitting at 57 in Middleton, 56 in Madison, 56 in Cottage Grove, 57 in Stoughton. Looks like we're going to be mild. Just have to get through today with the stormy weather expected. Right now, the clouds filling in, 56 degrees. We'll watch for that rain spread in later this morning into the early afternoon hours. There will be a break by the mid-afternoon hours, but more storms later today. We'll talk more about it coming up.
Kelly, thank you. We'll continue to provide updates on the alert day conditions throughout our newscast today. You can also track any developments on the free First Warn Weather app. Just search for WISC Weather in your app store. This morning, Mount Horeb students are at home. The school district canceling classes today after law enforcement shot and killed an armed student outside the middle school Wednesday. For much of the day, Mount Horeb district was on lockdown. Students were only able to start reuniting with their families at around 5 in the evening. The armed student never entered the building and no one else was hurt. Police say they found no evidence of any other suspects. Still, parents are left shaken.
Just can't believe that this has happened here. You know, you always see these things happen, but you don't think it's going to happen to your students.
We're also hearing reaction from local and state leaders this morning. State Superintendent Jill Underly says, quote, her heart broke upon hearing of the incident. A statement from her office reads in part, I'm sad for the great sense of anxiety and trauma caused for students, school staff, and the community. Dane County Executive Joe Parisi, whose last day serving in this role is tomorrow, said, quote, May 1st, 2024 will be a date not forgotten. Moments like this turn lives upside down, cause trauma, sorrow, and moment of reflection for all of us. An investigation is ongoing this morning. Right now, the law enforcement involved in that shooting are on leave per agency policy. Attorney General Josh Call says officers were wearing body cameras at the time. Even though classes aren't happening today, school buildings in Mount Horeb will be open, offering counseling and other resources for both students and staff. The district still hasn't made a decision on whether students will return to school tomorrow. We'll keep you updated on whether classes get canceled again tomorrow. You can follow along for any developments about the schedules or the DOJ's investigation into the incident with the free Channel 3000 mobile app. Now to continuing coverage of UW's Madison's pro-divestment encampment. We've been following this story for days, and things reached a climax yesterday when police and protesters faced off. Shane Hogan's live on the scene once again of the encampment this morning. Shane, what can you tell us? I know we're approaching that 24-hour mark where things really changed yesterday.
Hey, Josh. Yeah, that's right. It all really happened starting around 7 o'clock yesterday morning. We were live on the air when we saw police start to make their way towards the encampment, started playing that final message. I want to talk about the scene here right now, though, before we get into yesterday again. You can see tents are back up here on Library Mall. Of course, yesterday was the removal by law enforcement, taking away all of those tents that we saw. One maybe was left standing yesterday, and then last night we saw these tents start to go back up. So there's about 20, I would say 20 to 25 tents back up here right now. You can see some of the protesters are starting to wake up for the day. We've seen some people walk up and join as well. So it's a little bit more active as we approach the 7 o'clock hour. Now let's take a look at some of that video that we saw in the scene we saw yesterday. It was, again, Josh, right around 7 o'clock yesterday when things really started to escalate, and we saw law enforcement make their way in pretty significant numbers, too, and they moved in quickly to come remove those tents. Again, protesters were given that 15-minute warning as a final warning to remove their tents and belongings from campus. They did not comply with that. That's when law enforcement officers moved in yesterday. Things did get pretty intense. Things did get pretty heated. We saw, it remained unphysical for quite some time until it didn't. And then we saw police move their way in yesterday. I want to take a look at some of the numbers that we're hearing from UWPD as well. In total, law enforcement arrested 34 people yesterday. Police released most of those people without issuing any citations. 4 did end up in the Dane County Jail, though. UWPD also says that 4 officers were injured, 3 with the Sheriff's Office, 1 with State Patrol. As we reported yesterday, there were multiple agencies on scene. They say all of those injuries were related to physical resistance and that a protester struck a state trooper in the head with a skateboard. Also new overnight, we have a statement from UW Hillel, the Center for Jewish Life on campus, and that reads in part, quote, "This encampment has fostered heightened fear. Some students have reported teachers crossing lines into politics, using dog whistles, and using their positions of authority in a manner that is inappropriate and offensive," end quote. As we come out back here live on Library Mall, you can see there are 2 police officers out here right now. That's what we had been seeing the last few mornings before things got really intense yesterday. We had just seen a handful of officers in that same position about 60, 70 yards away from the tents. Now, the question remains today, will a similar situation happen like we saw yesterday, where police moved in to remove the tents? We heard from police yesterday. They were okay with protesting, students exercising their First Amendment rights, but it was the tents and the encampment that they had an issue with. So today we will have to wait and see if law enforcement has similar plans as they did yesterday. Josh?
Yeah, Shane, I think that was the main message that we learned from police and the university when they spoke to us live on the air, is they're okay with the protesting. It's the camping out that is the problem. And of course, the tents are up this morning. So definitely a different scene out there this morning. Shane, thank you. Among the protesters were members of UW faculty. After the scene cleared, News 3 Now's crews spoke with a Palestinian-American professor who was at the protest about what he says happened to him.
They were charging violently to attack the students within the encampment who were protesting. And we stood there. They charged me, especially. They basically pointing at me and said, bring him, so I was targeted, and I think it's racially motivated. I know for a fact that the shields hit me several times, and partly in my nose and my forehead.
Professor Alatud also says officers pushed him to the ground multiple times. When asked why, after things had gotten physical, he decided to stay in Library Mall. Here's what he had to say.
I cannot leave the students alone, period. That's my first and foremost obligation.
We do have a statement about the interaction with police and protesters from the UW chancellor. It reads in part, quote, "A set of individuals, including some faculty and staff, obstructed law enforcement's efforts to remove the tents. Every individual was given the opportunity to move away from the tent area and continue peaceful protest without further police engagement." Of course, the group organizing the encampment, Students for Justice in Palestine, feels differently.
All of this is to show that our chancellor, our administration, would rather attack the UW-Madison community directly than listen to our demands to ask that they simply end their complicity in an ongoing genocide.
Again, with more tents set up this morning, the protest is likely not close to being over. We haven't heard from UW police on anything about the tents being taken down again, but we do know they are monitoring that encampment. We know these protests are part of a larger student-led movement across the country. Police in LA are tearing down protesters' encampments this morning. UCLA says classes will be held remotely today and tomorrow, with employees also encouraged to work from home. Here's CBS's Jared Hill.
Police moved in at the University of California, Los Angeles after pro-Palestinian demonstrators were ordered to leave their encampments, now deemed illegal. It follows a night of sometimes brutal violence between the demonstrators and counter-protesters. Chemical spray, even fireworks thrown at the pro-Palestinian camp. The clashes left at least 15 people injured, at least one sent to the hospital.
What's your name?
UCLA senior Youssef said that he needed 14 staples in his head after he was hit with a traffic cone and beaten with a wooden stick.
I thought the police would be our saving rescue. Instead, what ended up happening was we saw the police forming in a large group outside, seemingly watching the events unfold.
Police at UCLA didn't step in to calm the unrest for nearly 2 hours. California Governor Gavin Newsom called the response unacceptable. Police in Hanover, New Hampshire say around 90 people were arrested as encampments were cleared out at Dartmouth College. At Columbia University, only imprints left of the encampment that once marked the epicenter of the student movement, urging universities to divest from Israel over the country's war against Hamas in Gaza. NYPD cleared out the camp and Hamilton Hall late Tuesday after protesters occupied the building. Jared Hill, CBS News, New York.
And a live look at the White House at this hour. President Biden remaining mostly silent on the protests outside of condemning the occupation of a residence hall on Columbia's campus. However, the White House says the president will deliver the keynote address at the U.S. Holocaust Memorial Museum next week, this amid rising anti-Semitism around the nation. Coming up on 642, still much more to come on a Thursday morning. We want to get to Kelly now with an update on the alert day forecast. Kelly.
Yeah, we are tracking the potential for some stronger storms developing later today. We'll have that first morning alert day coming up.
And we are live from Library Mall with our continuing coverage of the encampment here on UW's campus. What to expect later today, coming up.
Hanson's knows that your home is a place of comfort and protection. That's why our durable, energy-efficient, and weather-resistant windows, roofing, siding, and gutters, as well as our bathtubs and showers, are guaranteed. With over 30 years experience and thousands of 5-star reviews, we're your trusted home improvement expert. Get 50% off installation or enjoy no interest and no payments for 2 years.
Call 1-800-HANSONS. Get it done.
This famous wood fence from the show Home Improvement had to have boards replaced 13 times in only 9 years. Our fences outlast wood 3 to 1 and are all backed by our extensive lifetime warranty. This month, save $1,000 on your project. Visit the website or call the number for your new fence today.
Certain this is gonna work?
Nothing to it.
For imprint certain?
Certainty matters. 4imprint is your home for promo gear to wow clients and inspire your team. Check out 4imprint.com.
4imprint, for certain.
Son, let me tell you about the summer of $9.99.
Is he ready?
There was a time you could get so much for $9.99.
Complete dining sets for just $9.99.
4-piece bedroom sets for just $9.99.
Oh, remember those outdoor sets? Feels like the summer of $9.99 was just yesterday.
It's actually today and all summer long.
They do this all the time.
When the looks you love go for $9.99 or less, there's only one thing to say.
Oh, my mom!
Bob's Discount Furniture.
If you have moderate to severe ulcerative colitis or Crohn's disease, put it in check with Rinvoq, a once-daily pill.
When symptoms tried to take control, I got rapid relief and reduced fatigue with Rinvoq. Check.
When flares kept trying to slow me down, I got lasting steroid-free remission with Rinvoq. Check.
And when my doctor saw damage, Rinvoq helped visibly reduce damage of the intestinal lining. Check.
For both UC and Crohn's, rapid symptom relief, lasting steroid-free remission.
And visibly reduced damage. Check, check, and check.
Rinvoq can lower your ability to fight infections, including TB, serious infections and blood clots, some fatal. Cancers, including lymphoma and skin. Heart attack, stroke, and GI tears occurred. People 50 and older with a heart disease risk factor have an increased risk of death. Serious allergic reactions can occur. Tell your doctor if you are or may become pregnant.
Put UC and Crohn's in check and keep them there with Rinvoq.
Ask your gastroenterologist about Rinvoq and learn how AbbVie can help you save.
1 in 8 women will get breast cancer in their lifetime. Let's work together to change that statistic. Join us June 8th at the Alliant Energy Center in Madison for the Susan G. Komen More Than Pink Walk. Sign up now at channel3000.com/Komen and be part of the movement to raise money, celebrate survivors, and honor loved ones lost to this widespread illness. Let's fight back together.
You're watching News 3 Now this morning. Moving forward.
We're back at 6:45, continuing coverage now on the UW pro-divestment encampment. Shane Hogan joining us live on the scene right now. And Shane, it's hard to comprehend just how much has transpired in the last 24 hours, but all is calm at this hour.
Yeah, that's right, Josh. A lot has happened in the last 24 hours. It was just about this time yesterday when things really started to escalate here on Library Mall on UW's campus. That's when we saw law enforcement coming in with a much heavier presence than we had seen at all earlier in the week, showing up with those protective shields and giving students that final warning to remove their tents from campus. The students did not do that. That's when police came in to remove the tents, and that standoff and that clash happened. We saw several people get arrested, several people taken away in zip ties, and some folks getting injured as well. It really was quite chaotic for a period of time there yesterday within the hours between about 7 and 10 o'clock in the morning. I want to talk a little bit about what we can expect happening today. Students for Justice in Palestine, the group that is putting on this encampment here on UW's campus, they've got a couple different things scheduled for the day, starting off at 7:30 with a rally. We've already seen some folks start to wake up from their tents, or other people walking up to the encampment starting to join their peers as well. There are other teach-ins and some meetings, different sorts of announcements that are all scheduled. And this, they have plans scheduled until about 7 or 8 o'clock tonight. So this should be a pretty active scene throughout most of today. Now, of course, what we're waiting to see is if law enforcement will act as they did yesterday to come in and remove those tents. The tents have made their way back here after they were pretty much all removed yesterday. So that's what we're waiting to see right now. And of course, if anything were to change here like it did very quickly yesterday, we will of course keep you updated on air on News 3 Now this morning and online at channel3000.com. Josh?
Shane Hogan, once again, great reporting this morning, Shane. Thank you. Let's get to meteorologist Kelly Slifka now with the Certified Mosacker's first warn weather. Kelly, you're tracking a lot today, too.
Yeah, we've got rounds of showers and storms that'll be rolling through southern Wisconsin, and especially later this afternoon into tonight, do have the potential of seeing some stronger storms developing. It's all due to this storm system, kind of a double area of low pressure moving through the plains right now, spreading a lot of rain into Minnesota and Iowa. That warm front has a lot of warm air underneath it to the south of it. If that warm front gets into southern Wisconsin, that will lead us into a better chance of seeing some strong to potentially some severe storms, producing some hail and some damaging winds. That would probably be later this afternoon and then going through the evening hours tonight. Either way, we're going to see a lot of rain. We do have the first warn alert day for that potential of some strong to severe storms all of southern Wisconsin. Hail, strong winds. definitely a possibility, and you can't ever rule out an isolated tornado. And that threat looks to be a little bit closer toward the Illinois border as we go through late this afternoon and into the early evening hours tonight. So we are looking at that. What's the severe weather potential? Well, flooding looks low. Tornado threat always is low. Of course, any kind of tornado is very destructive, and it seems like it has a higher impact, and which obviously it does if you're locally in that. But the best risk of severe weather looks to be wind and also some hail. That's in the medium range. We're all under a marginal risk of severe weather. This is the lowest on a scale of 1 to 5. That'll be mainly later this afternoon into this evening. Right now, just some light rain spreading across southwestern Wisconsin, and we do have some thunderstorms moving out of Iowa, so that's what we can expect a little bit later on this morning. Take a look at some moderate rains moving into, well, basically out of Sauk County, moving into Adams and Juneau County over the next hour or so. Generally light rain for Richland Center, and then off to the east and south of there. Headed toward Prairie du Chien, Lone Rock, seeing some of these showers still lingering across the area. In Madison, not too much going on right now, but that could change a little bit later on this morning. So our future track, we seeing some of these light, occasionally some moderate showers, but what we're watching is this band that'll be coming in out of Iowa here between 9 and 10 o'clock. Moderate rains, occasionally some heavier downpours right along the Mississippi River. As you head from Viroqua over toward Prairie du Chien, Lone Rock, expecting some of these Boscobel, eventually moving on to the east toward Madison. This is when we could see some heavier downpours that'll be occurring around the noon hour. Then a second batch comes in later this afternoon into this evening. This is when we could see some hail and some strong winds. And we're still not done with that threat up until after midnight, and I think all this will be moving on to the east after that. And we are expecting quite a bit of rain, maybe upwards of an inch, inch and a half for some as we go over the next 24 hours. We're sitting at 56 right now in Madison. All right, our first warm forecast, the alert day today. Tomorrow looks like a beautiful day, 70. May see a shower Saturday, but I think most of the day dry, up to 70. A beautiful Sunday before more storms next week.
All right, Kelly, thank you. Let's this morning, today and tomorrow, there's a fundraiser happening to support 2 nonprofit animal rescues in the 608, one being the Midwest Horse Welfare Foundation located in Pittsfield. The other is Little Orphans Animal Rescue of Montello. Organizers say this fundraiser will help each organization raise food and/or monetary donations for huge vet bills. The fundraiser is happening today, beginning here in about 10 minutes at Fleet Farm in DeForest. Wanted to give them a shout out as I was supposed to be out there to help them out this morning. Of course, with all the news happening, I needed to be right here in studio. So go support them today and tomorrow. Coming up in the morning sprint, more live coverage from the encampment at UW-Madison. But first, if you have a little kid turning 3 soon, please let us know so we can show their picture on TV. We'll be right back.
Sponsored by Three Bears Resort, Indoor Water Park and Conference Center in Warrens, Wisconsin.
Spas. The Swim Spa Hot Tub and Sauna Show is coming this weekend only at the arena at the Alliant Energy Center in Madison. Rows and rows of spas, hot tubs, and swim spas. The largest display in the state. Save up to 60% on all in-stock models. This weekend only at the arena at the Alliant Energy Center in Madison.
Shop from the largest selection of Chevy trucks and SUVs in Wisconsin at Bergstrom Chevrolet. All with Bergstrom's negotiation-free upfront pricing, including our exclusive 7-day price protection and money-back guarantees. Stop in or shop and purchase at BergstromChevrolet.com.
Shop family-owned Brothers Maine for our large selection, low-price deals, and free delivery on top brands like Cafe, Hotpoint, and GE Appliances. From sales to install, we do it all. Feel great about your purchases. Feel like family at Brothers Maine.
Experience Overture's 24-25 Broadway season. See the best of Broadway. Subscribe at overture.org.
Start your spring project with an 11% rebate at Menards. Schultz grass seed is perfect for seeding new lawns or overseeding existing lawns. A 3-pound bag covers up to 2,000 square feet. Only $8.99 after rebate. Menards offers a huge selection of Bonnie plants, veggies, and herbs to plant at home and grow yourself. All 4.5-inch Bonnie plants are on sale. Plus, get an 11% rebate now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
This is Kathy. She's about to see her dentist. She's afraid. Not because of the drill, but because of the bill. A big bill. But Kathy doesn't need to be afraid, and neither do you, thanks to affordable dental insurance from Physicians Mutual Insurance Company. It's easy to get this coverage. Don't believe me? Call or go online for all the details. You could even have this free information kit. This isn't a discount plan or preventive-only coverage. This is real dental insurance. It helps pay for over 400 procedures. That's a lot. I'm talking cleanings, fillings, crowns, bridges, root canals, even dentures. Bottom line, you'll have help paying for routine care and expensive major work. But if you want deductibles, forget it. There aren't any. No annual maximum either. Plus, you can see any dentist you want. Stop fearing the big bill. Start saving at the dentist. Call now or go to sendinfokit.com.
Physicians Mutual, Physicians Mutual.
At Papa Murphy's, we build your pizza with the freshest ingredients. You take it and bake it fresh in your oven.
So technically, I make the pizza.
Right now, get the limited time Taco Grande pizza. Papa Murphy's, change the way you pizza.
Spas. The Swim Spa Hot Tub and Sauna Show is coming this weekend only at the arena at the Alliant Energy Center in Madison. Rows and rows of spas, hot tubs, and swim spas. The largest display in the state. Save up to 60% on all in-stock models. This weekend only at the arena at the Alliant Energy Center in Madison.
The First Warn Weather Team takes you beyond the barometer. Only on News 3 Now.
It is 6:54, time for the morning sprint. We start with Shane Hogan live at UW-Madison, where the tents were back up overnight. Shane.
Hey Josh, yeah, that's right. The scene behind me showing the encampment is back after yesterday's clash with law enforcement, where they took down almost all of the tents that were standing. We're seeing about 20 to 25 tents back up here this morning. We will have full coverage throughout the day here on News 3 Now. We will also be breaking in at our normal times between the 8 and 9 o'clock hours. Josh.
Shane, thank you. Students in the Mount Horeb School District are staying home this morning after police shot and killed an armed student outside of the school yesterday. An investigation is still ongoing. It's unclear if schools will be closed again tomorrow. Today, Donald Trump is back in the courtroom for his criminal election interference trial in Manhattan. The judge overseeing his case will hear more arguments from prosecutors that he violated his gag order. Trump made the trip back to New York after stopping in Wisconsin yesterday. Interest rates will remain at a two-decade high for now. The Fed says the rate will stay there until inflation cools to its 2% target. This marks the sixth straight time the Fed has decided to keep the rate steady. Many high school seniors are stuck in limbo this morning as they wait for delayed financial and award letters. The problems stem from FAFSA's update, which the Department of Education released late last year. The changes were supposed to make students eligible for aid, but they riddled with a number of processing problems and glitches.
A few minutes away from 7 o'clock as we are tracking some showers that have been passing through, mainly light showers off to the west this morning. But as we get into 9, 10 o'clock, some moderate, occasionally some heavier rains crossing the Mississippi River, Viroqua, Boscobel, Platteville, headed toward Madison between 11 and about noon. Then we get a break before some more storms come in, and some of these may produce some hail, damaging winds. You can see some of the red down there toward Janesville. That would indicate a hail-producing storm. Otherwise, we're looking at temperatures in the 60s today. Much nicer day tomorrow with highs near 70.
Kelly, thank you. We're back with a live update at 7:26.